Everybody, I've seen all these videos with Harbor Freight and Snap-on, and it kind of makes me think that a lot of people are really missing the point that there's so many other great tools now in 2024 between the Harbor Freight sort of tools and the Snap-on truck type of tools. So I wanted to go over a few of them here. Maybe it'll help some new mechanics out. I don't know, and I'm gonna drop a tax suggestion for the new mechanics down below and also at the end of the video, so make sure you hang on to that. All right, so let's start off first with Weeha. Okay, so this is a little baby Weeha. This is 16 millimeter, and you can kind of see that she is very, very, very well made. You know what I mean? Like, these are made in Germany, I believe. And Weeha focuses on hand tools. So things like not sockets, wrenches. Wrenches you're really gonna wanna look at Weeha, okay? And sometimes they go on sale, sometimes they don't. So this is 30 millimeter. These are not just good looking tools, you know, they actually take a lot of abuse. I just dropped this one literally there right before I was making this video. You see that? Just a little scratch. That's the type of quality you're gonna get with a Weeha. And let's see if we can look at those. That cut a little bit there. All right, so that is Weeha. I would recommend Weeha wrenches. I think they're great wrenches. And that should be a tool that you have on your list, all right? Weeha wrenches are, I think, class leading. I would put them above Snap-on, and I think they're actually cheaper, and they're quite a bit better than Harbor Freight. So in my opinion, that's what you get with Weeha. You get really solid German brand, really solid construction, and they only really do these types of tools. Like, I mean, they have like electrical tools, like electrician tools and stuff, but it's all hand tools, all right? All right, so with that, let's switch to... I want to switch over to gear wrench here, right? So gear wrench is right here. And basically, gear wrench is, I think, what should make up most of a new mechanic's tool set, all right? So for ratchets, and you want to make up that collection with the gear wrench, in my opinion. It snaps into place nicely. We got 84 tooth on here, and that's a single pawl. That's not a double pawl, which is a little bit different. It like the backlash and stuff is different. So yeah, this is a gear wrench, and I think they make very, very solid bang per buck type of ratchets. Something like this is probably like $40 or $50. So these need to be in your tool set. All right, then we're gonna go over to Milwaukee. Milwaukee does make some hand tools. They're not known for this though. Like, the difference between a Weeha and a Milwaukee is that the Weeha is known and focuses on the hand tools. Milwaukee is known for their power tools, but still, especially things that are insulated and electrical hand tools, these are good. They're not going to be quite as expensive as Snap-on, Weeha, things of that nature. And they're going to be at, your Home Depot and a lot of like Napa Auto Parts and whatever. Okay, and I do want to say that Milwaukee makes, in my opinion, the best electrical tools. I've had Milwaukee Impact wrenches for a long, long time, since I was about 18, 20. They had a different battery system back then. They had like a 24 volt and like an 18 volt or 22 volt, and they've moved away from those. Now they run everything on the M18, M12 systems, right? So this right here will do a lot of what the best pneumatic wrench will do, okay? It might be a little bit heavier, it might be slightly bigger, but just slightly. And this thing will just rip bolts off all day. So you got like a choice between Snap-on and Milwaukee electrical tools. I think it should be clearly Milwaukee, in my opinion. All right, now let's talk about Net Pros. All right, Net Pros is a very, very high-end tool. It's the highest line of the Japanese Kyoto Tool Company. And these are almost like executive gifts. I mean, these are really, 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 really high-end. But they're still tools. Like, I don't know if you can hear that. The action in this is unbelievable. And the head is a nice size. The best tool that I think, if you can only get one Niprose tool, I would get the, there's like a 3/8 inch one of these that is in the size of a 1/4 inch driver. And I think that's just an exceptional tool. They also make little spinners that aren't too expensive. Something like this, I got this for about $106 on sale. They usually go for about $150. So this is going to be at the Snap-on pricing. The difference between this and a Snap-on, though, is basically people made this with like love. You know what I mean? Like for lack of a better term, it'll be the difference between like, I don't know, a hand-formed Damascus, cutting knife and like maybe a Cutco blade. Like they'll both cut something, but this is like you can tell that this is just very, very high end. So Snap-on, I would say, is closer to like this, and this is like a whole nother level up. Okay, so I hope the Snap-on guys don't get too offended, whatever, right? So yeah, that's a pretty good overview. There's two I wanted to talk to that I don't have right here. One is Wera. Wera is different from Wiha, but they're still kind of a nice tool to get. They're not bad at all. The other one, especially like the Allen wrenches, I think are a very good price. Ratchet is going to be a Koken, and those are going to go for about $40. So this is going to be like $150. Those are going to be like $40 to $80. They're not going to be quite as nice as this, but they're going to have very, very, very low backlash. So if you want to like have something that is able to turn really easily, the Koken is renowned for that. I had one of the Kokens, and I wasn't like super thrilled by it. It was pretty good. It was a good tool, but it's not like a tool to me that I felt and picked up and said, oh, this is special. This is more like a tool that the Japanese made to just be a good tool. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between the Koken and the Niprose, and probably the rest of the KTC line and the Niprose, right? About sockets really quick. I personally use Milwaukee sockets, but I did work at Brandywine Automotive, which is a pretty big, junkyard type of place. They used to have 14 locations, biggest one in DC by far. It used to be at least. Now, I don't know, Cunningham Brothers maybe bigger. But yeah, let's talk about Brandywine. Brandywine Automotive, I would talk to the one of the, guys pulling the parts all the time. He's a pretty cool guy. And he told me that he really, really, really liked the Tractor Supply Company impact. He felt like he broke almost every other type of impact socket, and I mean they're just taking apart trash, they're taking apart junk. So I mean they're going to be snapping shit left and right. I mean it's all rusty, it's all broken, it's a tough job, right? So he was hard on tools, and I wanted to put this in here because I think that's probably the best torture test type of scenario that I've heard of for, impact sockets. So for impact sockets, Tractor Supply Company is not a bad bet. So I wanted to go over how you can buy these for a better price, or not exactly a better price, but let's say you're a beginning mechanic. You may want to start off your business as as sort of like a guy who changes brakes and oil, you know what I mean? And buy some of these tools, and then you can write them off. And then you might want to go into a garage, you know what I mean? Because right away, if you work for like a garage, you're not going to get any deductions for any of this, all right? So if you own the garage and you buy the tools, you get the deductions, right? If you just a mechanic and you buy the tools, no deductions. So that's a big, big difference. And that's why I'd probably recommend someone, if you're thinking about like the mechanic pathway, around 17, 18, somewhere in that range. I would go out, maybe start an LLC, and or be a sole proprietor if you wanted to for a little while, but have some business where you're actually taking money and repairing cars, okay? And then buy the tools and write them off. And then if you want to go join a garage, go for it. But to me, I think a lot of people get in a lot of debt because there's like a combination of the tool truck, which is, kind of like addictive, right? And then you have no tax incentive, right? So you're spending a lot of money, which I think the IRS should probably give you because it's money spent to make money. And usually that's something where the IRS will give you that, right? So because they want you to make more money, but they don't give mechanics that. So that would be my tip. And again, I would go talk to a tax group before you decide on doing this. But that would be my suggestion. All right, guys. Thanks again.